This out. Has anyone heard of the blood-brain barrier? Okay, the blood-brain barrier, for those that haven't, it's your brain's protective mechanism. It prevents bad things in your bloodstream from crossing this barrier and getting to your brain. Because once you get toxins to your brain, you're pretty much screwed. You know, you're going to get neurodegenerative disorders, autism, things like that. So we can't have any of these toxins going to our brain. So the blood-brain barrier, what they found out is that it takes about roughly up to age 7 for a blood-brain barrier to mature. About age 7 is what a lot of texts say. Some say even to adolescence. But when you're looking at this, what happens is if you have heavy metals, like for what we show here, you know, we got the blood on the top, the brain on the bottom, in that barrier. Aluminum, lead, and mercury, you know, these actually can bind to amino acids and come through that immature blood-brain barrier. So it's very important then, you know, because the younger you are, the more permeable it is, meaning the more easily things can go across it. So if we know that the blood-brain barrier doesn't form until age 7, and some texts say adolescence, then it's common sense that you would do two things. You would limit your toxins and your heavy metals in your body, especially when you're younger, as much as possible, as well as you would want to keep your glutathione levels as high as possible. Because again, remember, even if you do have heavy metals in your bloodstream, that glutathione can bind to them and prevent them from actually going across the blood-brain barrier. With me on that so far? Okay. This is our vaccine schedule. Now, remember, your blood-brain barrier is not formed until you're 7 years old. So how many vaccines do we consume before 7 years old? Well, before age 6, we're consuming 49 doses. Now, let's just look at the vaccines we're taking at those ages, and I'll zoom in there. At 2 months, we're taking the DPT shot. DPT is diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis. At 4 months, we take another dose of the DPT shot. At 6 months, yet another dose. 12 months, another dose. And between 2 and 6 years, you take another dose of DTaP vaccine. They either call it DTP or DTaP. But those couldn't possibly have heavy metals in there, right? Because our blood-brain barrier is not formed. Well, if you actually just go to the Center of Disease Control very own website, you will find exactly what's in this vaccine. And I did that, and I took a snapshot right here. I could go on a list about every single one of these, but let's talk about a few. The ones I circled here. Let's blow that up here. Aluminum. Okay, aluminum is 7 times more toxic to your brain than mercury. So people, the vaccine manufacturers, started taking out mercury, replacing it with aluminum. That's not a whole lot better. They're both potent neurotoxins. Neuro meaning nervous system, brain, toxins, poisonous. So you're consuming these toxic heavy metals into your bloodstream, going to your brain. Polysorbate 80. Polysorbate 80 makes your brain barrier yet more permeable. Formaldehyde. That's one of the most toxic substances ever. That's why aspartame is getting such a bad rap, which it should be, from diet sodas and stuff, because it converts to formaldehyde in your body and it can cross the blood-brain barrier. MRC5. Has anyone ever heard of that? This is on the CDC website. So what do? I look up MRC5, and I can't make this up. MRC5 cell line was developed from lung tissue taken from a 14-week fetus, aborted for psychiatric reasons. So before we're age 7, we're consuming 5 doses of aborted human fetal cells. Freaking pisses me off, okay? This. Right. All right.